We are here today with Michelle. And again, we always have Michelle introduce herself for anybody that's new to listening or watching her. I want them to understand where we're coming from and why we do what we do. So, Michelle, if you could introduce yourself and just kind of share, what your abilities are.
My name is Michelle. I am a clairvoyant and I am the voice for those who cannot be heard on the other side.
Yeah, which is beautiful. And I'm Melinda. I'm here to interview Michelle so we can share information. The whole goal here really is to help people and to let people get in touch with anybody that's curious, that's never had an experience, or that would like to have an experience to learning from spirits on the other side, because Michelle has that ability to listen and to share that information. She has clients. She's been doing this for how many years now, Michelle?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Over 30.
Yeah. So, she's very well versed in this. And so we're sharing this for people that are interested. So if you could like and subscribe and share this with your friends, we would very much appreciate that as well. We're not selling anything. We're just simply here to open some doors.
Yeah.
And
give it a thumbs up.
Yes,
it helps.
those thumbs count for a lot, guys. So give us those thumbs up. Thank you so much. So Michelle, we talk on a wide range of subjects, right? And we just kind of go from what's happening currently or where we're led to speak about. We had previously been speaking about the anxiety of the world and how to center yourself, breathing, putting your feet into the earth, and things that anybody can do. You don't have to buy anything. There's nothing special. You just have to pay attention to yourself, right? So along that same path of tuning in to things that the world does not typically, it would be lovely if we lived in a world that from the moment you were born, everybody said, pay attention to your intuition, listen to the spirits. So magical. That would be so magical. But right now, the world that we live in, or at least where I live here in the United States, I live in New York, that's not been my history, right? So along those same lines, Michelle, I know I've heard stories, and I'm sure you have too, being an intuitive, of people that are very cynical about this process, right? The naysayers, the people that say it's never been proven. And I feel like my whole life, because I've always lived in that bubble of like, everything's magical, there's a possibility. And then my whole life I've been told, no, you're wrong. That I know my life is better when I tune in and pay attention to what's going on around me. So the world that we live in, because of the virus that's going on right now, this is May of 2021. We've been in a worldwide pandemic for a bit now, which has been different. I think this has been a really golden opportunity for people to pay attention, right? To figure out why are we here? Why are we living? Are we born so we can just work really hard, have a job, and then die? Like what's going on with all that? You and I have previously talked about soul contracts.
Right.
And free will, that very clear about free will, because I feel like the naysayers, or at least on my end, and you can share with us, the naysayers have said, oh, well, that's hooey because no one's going to tell me how to live my life. Right. Well, we're not saying anything of the kind.
That's right.
Just because you have a soul contract, meaning, well, why don't you explain soul contracts? I don't want to assume anything. What a soul contract is.
A soul contract is basically something that you have agreed upon before you come to this 3D life. It's a contract that you made in the 5D, which is heaven. Let's just, so it's a contract that you made in the 5D that you come to the 3D to fulfill that kind of prophecy. In reincarnation, some people believe, some people don't. I'm not pushing reincarnation or anything like that, but I will tell you that souls are recycled. It's energy. It's constant. And so we all have a purpose. Everybody. Every being has a purpose. It's up to you to get back to what the purpose was. That is your contract.
Mhm.
So the people that are in your circle, excuse me, or brought into your life are a part of that contract.
Yeah.
There is something that you need to fulfill with that being to fulfill your contract.
Mhm.
Once the contract is fulfilled, either that being will stay in your life forever in eternity, or that being only had one specific reason for your soul growth,
Mhm.
gave you that purpose, and that energy will leave your life,
Mhm.
never to be seen again. It could be one day, it could be 10 days, it could be 10 years, you know. But that, the more that you are in tuned to your purpose or to your life's work, or getting to vibrate at the 5D level, the sooner that you recognize the things that are going on in your life, that this is to create a better life, to build you up spiritually so that you don't have to deal with the 3D stuff, the anxiety, the depression, the constant doubting,
Yeah.
you know, you're not enough. All of those negative feelings are all connected to this 3D world.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the 5D. So whatever the contract was that you had agreed upon up there to resolve whatever you need to resolve here, that is what's going to take place.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Melinda?
Does. And it's, you know, to hear you explain it to me, it's just music to my ears, really,
Mhm.
because you know, I think we've all heard people say, what, you know, why this, and why am I suffering, or why did this baby get hurt, or, you know, there's a lot of like blame and why.
Yeah.
But again, Michelle's talking about free will and about choices here. So
Mhm.
if you find yourself in a circumstance, if you're listening to this and you think, well, everything in my life feels hard and I'm very unhappy.
Yeah.
You're Michelle, what I'm hearing you say is that it's up to you.
That's right.
What are you going to do?
That's right. It's up to you to move yourself out of it. It's up to you. The tools are there for you.
Yeah.
You know, they're everywhere. It's the tools are there for anybody to pick up and use it to better yourself, to create. You know, the most frustrating part, Melinda, is that people don't understand that every day that you wake up, every day that you open your eyes, number one, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a gift. You're breathing, it's a gift.
Yeah.
But every day is an opportunity to recreate who you are, right? You
Yeah.
can recreate yourself into this beautiful, loving being, right? Or you
Yep.
can recreate yourself to be a nasty, negative being.
Yeah.
It's all in what you desire your life to be.
Yeah.
I would think that the majority of people want to live a peaceful, loving life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want to wake up in the morning and say, okay, universe, today is the day of completion. I give thanks for this perfect day. Miracle will follow miracle and wonders will never cease.
Who doesn't
Right?
want that? I mean, come on.
Is that, I mean, and I wake up every day and that's my mantra.
You know what? I think this is an important time to talk about mantras because, you know, we've talked about grounding yourself and about your intuition, but, you know, for maybe someone's listening and they don't understand about mantras or how to start their day, this would be a good time to explain how everybody does have that choice. Can you guide people into what mantras are and how that could work for them?
Sure. Mantras have been around forever. Okay. Yeah. Mystics, the mystics, the masters, it's a way of changing the vibration within your being. Okay. That's what a mantra is. The Om. Oh,
There.
You're back. The Om, the vibration of the universe. This is changes the frequency of you. This changes the vibration of what is going to gravitate towards you. So let's just use the mantra that I just gave you. Okay, I'll say it slow so
Good.
people can hear it. Today is the day of completion. I give thanks for this perfect day. Miracle will follow miracle, and my wonders will never cease. So you're setting that vibration out to the universe saying, right, whatever was bad in my life, I have completion with it. I no longer carry that burden with me, right?
Yes.
I expect a miracle to follow a miracle because I believe. And that's what that mantra does. That mantra sets a whole new trajectory of bringing you positive light and love into your life. The more that you're devoted to your mantras, you can make up your own. What resonates with your soul, that's how it's going to gravitate towards you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it has to resonate. You know, that one stuck with me for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorites. But they're like, hunches are your hounds of heaven. They lead you in the most perfect way. You know, things like that. So when you're setting that out into motion, you're telling the universe that every hunch that I get, I know it's from you, God or goddess or omnipotent. I know that was a gift from you.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's so many, what's another one? Just giving thanks.
Yes.
You know, I'm grateful for all of the wonderful blessings that you are bestowing upon me today.
Yeah.
You know, even though I can't see it, I believe that it's coming.
Yes.
You know, things like that. Those are positive vibrations that you're throwing out there. It's like the ripple.
Yes.
Okay. You put positive out, it's going to ripple out and bring you back something positive. You put negative out, it's going to ripple out negative and bring you something negative.
Yes.
All in your attitude and the way that you believe and think about things manifesting in your life, that's how it's going to manifest.
Yes. And for anyone listening thinking, oh, come on, is that all there is? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And as you know, as someone, you know, I'm 60, so I've had some life experiences as someone who spent many, many years not listening to myself and living a life I didn't want to live, and not understanding that I could change it. The minute, I don't mean months and I don't mean years.
Yeah.
That's what's so amazing about belief and energy. When you're talking about changing your vibration,
That's right.
The moment I changed the way I looked at the world and I started recognizing that I had the ability, not because of money, because I had none,
right,
not because of relying on anybody else, little broken me,
right,
started believing that things could work for me, and not in a financial gain. I'm not talking, I want to be rich. It wasn't
right,
that, right?
Right, right.
Speaking as someone who has flipped from one side to the other, I am here to assure anybody who's listening to this, who's saying, well, but I'm not like Michelle. I'm not an intuitive. And I don't believe I'm an intuitive either. I have intuitive moments, but it's not my gift like Michelle. I can't share information like she does. As someone who was about as low as you could get and as broken as you could get, and really there was a point in my life I wanted to die. I just wasn't strong enough to kill myself.
Right.
I was afraid of everything and I didn't want to live. So I just laid on the couch for 3 days and cried and just prayed that something bad would happen to me so I wouldn't have to get up. Right.
Right. Yep.
Someone who was there to now, do I have problems and issues? Of course I am. But my heart is so full because I decided that there was abundance in the world and that I was going to participate in that abundance.
And receive it.
And receive it. And I gladly did the moment I had those thoughts. And here's the funny thing, and Michelle, you can attest to this. It gets bigger, and the more you open, the more, and it's almost like, whoa,
yes, the floodgates open.
They do. And so I want people to understand that are listening to Michelle and I talking, we're not selling a class. We're not telling you, oh, if you do this every day, X, Y, Z is going to happen, because we don't know. You have free will. We don't know what you want. We don't know what your journey is. We don't know what your soul contract is.
That's right.
Who does know, you know. And you just have to listen to yourself. And that's why we're here And I do want to take the time to say, if you're listening to us and this resonates, please like and subscribe. Give us that thumbs up, because we're simply here to share, and we want to continue to share. So Michelle, along that same path of what mantras are and how you can, I love that, changing your vibration. That just speaks to me so loudly, because the world's vibration that we live in feels very different than the vibration we're capable of.
Right. It is. It is. The 3D vibration is a low vibrating energy. It really is. It's based on the materialistic part of this world. It's the universe. The 3D is the material part of the universe.
Yes.
And that's what the majority of people are stuck in, is the material part of the universe in this 3D world. that binds you. It binds you.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not free flowing, if it is restricting you, you know, if you're in a job that you just hate, that you just don't want to get up and go to work, the only one that can change that is you.
Yeah.
You know, and know that you have that ability to call in that perfect job.
Yes.
You know, you have that ability. And I think it's so important, Melinda, that is what we get across to everybody, is that you can have anything your heart desires in this world. You truly, truly can. Yeah. It's just a matter of you being vigilant and discerning and faithful to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and knowing that you deserve so much more, you know, and it's the God's honest truth. It's all about what you perceive is what is going to be presented before you.
Yes.
If you perceive lack,
yes,
darkness, defeat, disgrace, you know, regret,
yes,
you are walking in a cloud of darkness.
Yes.
That is not why you are here.
Right.
You are not here to do that. You are here to learn to vibrate in a loving universe that has so much to give you, for you to enjoy in this life. And Melinda, I'm telling you, the light workers, we're the ones that get stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get stuck. You know, you talked about laying on the couch for 3 days. I was in depression for over a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Knowing what I know, I could not get myself out of it. I prayed to get myself out of it, but you know, in the end, it took something very drastic. I call it a tower moment. I almost killed myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just thought, you know, what am I doing? I have children.
Yeah.
You know, I have 2 kids that I need. I can't, you know, so I was vibrating in that low vibration because of who I was surrounding myself with.
Yes. That's so important. That is so important. Everyone that's listening needs to understand, while we're responsible for our own happiness, part of that happiness is, what are your surroundings?
That's right.
You can be a very bright light, but if you choose to stay in a dark location, you're just going to be floundering. You've got to continue.
Yes, because the dark, if you are feeling low to begin with, and you are surrounding yourself with dark energies or people that don't vibrate on, you know, aren't helping you rise above, yeah, you're going to get stuck in depression, and you are going to feel all of those low level feelings,
yes,
of lack and no self-worth.
Yes.
You know, just that, all that negative stuff, you know. It doesn't bring out the best in people. It truly doesn't. And I bear witness to that. As much as I know, as much knowledge that and wisdom that I have gained through all of these years from communicating with the other side and through my own personal experiences, it still takes me down.
Yeah.
it still takes me down, and it takes me down hard.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to rebuild yourself.
Yeah.
So it's so important that you check in with your surroundings. Who are you connecting to?
Yeah.
Are you constantly giving and giving and giving and getting nothing back? You need to cut that off,
Yeah.
because it is not serving you in any high vibrating, positive direction. It's only going to drag you down deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah. That's so important to hear because, like we talked about previously, I think the misconception about people that don't feel like they have intuition, which I think we agree everyone does,
Everyone does.
We haven't been taught to listen to it, to follow it, is that once you just take the smallest turn and get the smallest little bit of information, then it will start to grow. You don't have to make a huge change.
No, it's just one little, it's taking, the wheel is constantly turning.
Yes.
Okay. It's supposed to constantly turn.
Yes.
But if you're stuck in a dark energy, or you're stuck in depression or defeat or lack or any of those low-lying energies, that low-lying feeling, the wheel stops.
Yes.
It stops. It's like a wrench was put into it. So it stops and you're stuck.
Yeah.
It's up to you to take that little piece out, just one little piece, to get that wheel kind of turning again. And once you get it to go, then you're in momentum.
Yes.
And then you can start recreating and lifting yourself back up and reevaluating, how the hell did I get here to begin with?
Yes.
Right.
I learned on my journey, Michelle, that I didn't even realize how far off the mark I was because I was so caught up in I've got to raise the family. And, even though the marriage wasn't great, I was like, but I've got obligations, right? I was caught into that. And once the painful part of the journey of bettering yourself is once you become aware of things, then you become aware of more things. And you can't stop looking at it, because then you have to make a choice. I wasn't making choices because I wasn't aware of my choices. Once I became aware of my choices, it made it hard, because it's hard to let people go. It's hard to change patterns because you think you're safer hiding. You're not.
Right. No,
it's harder. It's bad for you. It's worse. I'm so stunned now, Michelle. Yes, partially because I'm older, but the other part is because I started looking. You can be my age and still be unaware. It has nothing to do with your age.
That's right. That's right.
But it's so shocking to me now that I've had the opportunity to just little by little by little, how glorious and abundant everything is when you're aware of how, I always use the word magical. To me, it feels magical. How much abundance there is in the world. And I'm not talking finances, but yes, that comes your way, but I'm not even talking about that. That's just part of it.
That's right.
It's what you feel here.
That's right.
I don't care how rich you are financially. If you don't have this means
nothing. That's right. It means absolutely nothing. There is no reward, none whatsoever. No. It's here. This is what matters. Your heart is what matters. Love is what matters. Yeah. Period. That is it. Yeah. That is it. And oh God, I get like, it's like, it's frustrating. It is frustrating because, when you're awake, let's use that, being awake in this 3D dimension. Yes. You cannot ignore what is going on around you, and it's hard for intuitives, light workers, because we want to help. Yes. We constantly want to help people because we feel their suffering. Yeah. And we don't, and I'll speak for myself. I don't want anybody to suffer. Right. But then again, it's kind of like a backhander for me because, at some point you have to realize that, after, 14, 15 years, and, somebody is still in that repetitive cycle, you have to realize that it's not for you to fix. It's not for you to help anymore.
Yes.
You when you give people the tools, it's up to them to use them, right?
Yes.
I mean, you did your part. I mean, you do your part every day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And once you do that, it is up to the other person. And it's so hard. I've had lifetime friends, okay, that they're no longer in my life anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
It happens.
Yes.
It happens because you just, it doesn't resonate with your soul anymore.
Yes.
So, the love is there. The love will always be there.
Yes.
But you have to realize that you're killing yourself in the process of trying to help somebody else.
Yeah.
So you have to take care of you. I mean, that if we were to get a message across today, I would say that going inward and taking care of yourself and nurturing you, loving you, that is how you're going to attract that abundance in the universe. It's not going to come to you any other way. Yes. That it's all about your house, your home within you.
Yes.
If you have no respect for yourself, how is somebody else going to respect you? Yes. If you allow somebody to use you as a doormat,
yeah,
that's bad on you.
Yes.
They will continue, and then they'll bring their friends and their friends, and they'll walk all over you. So
yeah.
Healthy boundaries. You have to have healthy boundaries.
Yes. I lost you on, there you go. And that's critical too, Michelle, because in the world that we live in the world that I lived in, I was taught, and it was really pressed upon me as a woman to always put other people ahead of me, and that how selfish, being a mom, being a wife, all those things. And what I learned on my own without any help from anybody other than me hitting a wall so hard that I just couldn't function anymore. Unfortunately, that's in this lifetime I've needed to go to the very depths before I will rise up, is that if I don't take care of myself, nothing else even matters.
That's right.
I can't be a good mom or a wife, which, I chose badly in that area because I had no self-respect, and exactly everything you said. Not only did he walk on me, but he taught the kids to walk on me,
right,
and peers to walk on me. And instead of me flipping that because it's my control, I just got sadder and sadder and thought, when will they figure out this is wrong?
You lose yourself. You lose yourself. You become a shell.
Yes.
And I, I've been there. I've been there way too many times that I want to admit to, and usually the dark night of the soul. Have you heard that expression? The dark night of the soul?
Yes.
Usually that has to take place before you have your awakening. It is looking at all of the dark crevices of your life and bringing them to the surface and facing them, and forgiving, letting them go, loving. It's all about loving yourself.
Yes.
So
I mean, loving yourself is something you would think would be easy and natural, but I have found that it's taken me a very long time to do that. So for anybody listening, please understand that in the world that we live in, it's not the norm to be taught that. And you have to relearn it yourself. Because remember what Michelle said, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you good for anybody else? If you don't respect yourself, we've all run into those people where we're like, oh, I don't want to spend time around them. This doesn't feel good to me. So if you don't respect yourself, of course the people around you aren't going to respect you. But I will say, as a woman, because right now I'm living as a female, so I can't speak for men. As a woman, I was taught that it was my place to put my husband before me, to put my children before me, to put projects, my friends,
Yes.
everything before me. And you know what? My experience is that never did work.
It doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You have to love yourself, man, woman, child, and you have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, then there's everything is going to be shit.
Yes. Yes.
It attracts shit.
Yes.
It attracts all that negative crap, and you're attracting people that you don't want to attract.
Right.
Right. So you got to be very careful about how you're vibrating. You always want to vibrate in that higher energy, that loving energy, the positive thinking, the positive affirmations. And, people, I've come into contact with people like, oh, you and your affirmations and, yada, yada, yada. It's a bunch of bullshit. Well, right. No, it is not.
No.
I'm living proof.
Yes.
That it is not. Okay. My affirmations have helped me out of the darkest of times in my life. So
yes,
I encourage anything positive that you can do for yourself. You're gifting yourself something.
Oh, I love that.
The universe will bless you with something. Every time you do something positive for yourself, the universe is going to back you up and give you something else. So
real.
It's a good way to start things, right? It's a good way to start.
And anybody can do it. That's what Michelle and I are encouraging. You don't have to take a special class. You don't have to give anybody money. You just have to pay attention to what Michelle said and listen to yourself. And if you start feeling those feelings of, it's okay. You have to learn. You have to learn how to love yourself. Don't be hard on yourself because you can't figure it out right away. But as someone both Michelle and I have attested to, the moment you start opening that little crack of light, you feel it. It feels different. Anybody that's listening to us, certainly, the difference between feeling not great about something and feeling great about something. You can just start with that. What feels right and good? Does it feel right and good to be cruel to someone? No. Are you being cruel to someone because you think you're going to get a better job? Is that in your best interest? No. Don't worry about the world. Worry about yourself. Listen to yourself. And if there's anything that Michelle and I would like for you to learn from this particular session is that you have the ability to do this.
That's right.
Only person that's stopping you
is you.
And so please, take some solace in the fact that where you are right now, if you're having a very difficult time and you're listening to us and you're thinking, well, I've never felt that way. I don't know how to do it. It's okay. Start right now.
Yeah. Just start. Tell yourself something positive. Tell yourself that you are a good person, that you do love yourself, that find a quality in yourself that you love.
Yes.
And focus on that.
Yes.
Because that's going to bring something else and then something else and then something else. And each time you're lifting yourself up.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about. It's what it's all about. Because once you love who you are, nothing else matters. It truly doesn't. Anything else that comes after that is a icing on the cake.
It is.
In relationships, love relationships, family relationships, children relationships, if you're not loving yourself, how can you find love in those relationships? What are you feeding your soul? What are you telling yourself?
Yes.
I've been around people who just fill themselves with negative talk constantly. Yeah. And they wonder why they are in the place that they are in. It's because you're feeding your soul in a negative way. Yeah. You're not feeding it healthy food, healthy thoughts. Your words are your wand.
Yes.
That creates. You have the ability to create your life. What do you want to create? Do you want to create devastation? Do you want to create gloom and doom? Or do you want to create this beautiful, peaceful life? You know, it's all in what you speak. What you speak into the universe is going to come back to you. So be very specific.
Yes.
Be loving when you do it.
Yes.
Because just as much as you put love out,
yes,
the hate is the same thing.
yes.
If you're a hateful person, if you want revenge, if you're greedy, if you're, you know, God help you. That's all I'm saying. Because that is going to come back to you and hit you really, really hard.
Yeah.
So,
and that's real. I mean, we've lived it, you know, and I think if anybody is listening that's honest with themselves, they know that. They know that. Just don't get caught into what the world says. Listen to yourself. Listen. I often say to my friends, life is an echo.
It is.
Whatever you put out will come back to you. Or, you know, we've all heard karma, what karma is,
right?
It's about. Karma has soothed my souls on many occasions where I was like, you know what? Don't get caught up in what, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
That's not you. You do you. Let karma do its thing. And for someone who is a big proponent of justice, justice is important to me.
Yes.
It's helped me release some things that I don't need to hang on to. And I feel like if anybody's listening to this and they're feeling hurt or they're in a bad place for whatever, and they're thinking, but this, but that, we're here to tell you, focus on you. All you're doing is sending your energy in a place that doesn't need it.
Right.
And you have to
give it back to yourself. Give it to yourself.
Feed your soul. I love that. And what did you say about your wand? Your words are your wand.
Your words are your wand. Yes.
That's so good.
So they're an extension of your creation. Okay. Like we create in our mind, you know, we, you know, you have your daydreams, your fantasies, you know, that perfect house that you want, the perfect yard, the perfect, you know, we have those dreams.
Yes.
So you speak them into fruition.
Yes.
And you always, always, always want to say, after you speak it into fruition, you want to say in a perfect way, under grace. That way, nothing bad happens or nothing bad will happen to bring that manifestation to you.
Yeah.
So nobody will be harmed in the process.
I like that.
Harm to none. Right?
To none. I like that.
So it's really important. Yeah.
It's already been 30 minutes. I feel like when we start talking, I have to do a timer because I'm like, what do you mean? It's been, Michelle and I are trying to keep this a 30-minute segment. So it's easier for people to digest. I do feel like because you and I are familiar with each other, it's easy to keep going. But for people that are new to this or people that need to hear this, I feel like 30 minutes is a good amount of time. So you can, you know, set that aside and move on. So we're going to wrap this one, but please continue to share this, to like, to subscribe so we can continue to share to other people and send us your questions. All the information is here online. If you have questions for Michelle or there's something specific you want us to speak to, you know, the sky's the limit here. That's what we're here for, is to share information. So Michelle, I love it. Your words are your wine. Feed your soul.
Yes. Feed your soul. Tell yourself how beautiful you are. Tell yourself you're worthy of whatever you want, whatever your heart's desires are, you are worthy of obtaining that. Be it love, be it your home, be it an animal, you are worthy of whatever it is that your heart's desires. That is a gift. That is the universe. There's plenty. There's so much prosperity out in the universe. You just have to call it upon yourself. Don't let negative people take that away from you.
That's right.
You can't. You can't. And you know, I'm going to end it. I'm going to say this for the last thing.
Okay.
You cannot save somebody that does not want to be saved.
Huge, hard lesson.
Very hard.
But it's important.
It is important.
If you're listening, it is not up to you to save anybody but yourself. You
That's
focus
right.
on you. And we're
Yeah.
going to be here to remind you, and we'll keep talking about that. But for today's session, we're going to say thank you so much for listening. Let us know if there's anything you want to talk about. Like, thumbs up, subscribe, and we will be back to talk to you soon. Thank you.
Yes.